Hi, my name is Bhuvan. I am an international certified Vaastu consultant. Today I'm going to talk to you about one story wherein a person who was really at a very high financial status just because of changing a house and not checking the Vastu compliance fell right from the top to a very bad situation where it was very difficult for him to even survive. So today I'm going to talk to you about the story, how we went through finding the problem, tackling the problem, putting the solution in, and solving it to entirety. And things started changing for him. So I met the person who was once financially very stable, but today he wasn't. And I met him through a friend of mine. We started discussing about how energy balancing can actually better the situation in a house and make it Vastu compliant, irrespective of how the house is. He was so impressed that he actually shared his house layout, and he asked me to do an assessment. I did it, and I found three problems. One was related to health, the second was in relation to progression, and the third one was in relation to financial instability. When I shared it with him, he was surprised and shocked that how did I do that assessment without even visiting his house once. So he called me to his house to discuss on what are the next steps and how do we move ahead. So I went to this person's house and I started discussing on the root causes of the problems that he was facing. So ideally the problem with that house was it had an entrance in the southwest, which is the worst entrance that you can have, because southwest is supposed to be a stable zone, and if it's open, all the energies that are generated in the house will move out of the house. The second issue was his north was blocked by another apartment, so he had another apartment on the other side. When the north or east are blocked, that is the place where the energy comes in. So one, the energy was not getting generated. Secondly, whatever was getting generated was moving out. So that was another problem that he was facing. The third thing that I shared with him is there was one toilet which was wrongly placed in the fire zone, which is the southeast. And that was creating a lot of issues for him as well. So when I did this entire assessment, I shared it with him. He was quite impressed with the assessment of finding the problem and also with the solution that I basically proposed, that I will be using a certain product, which is a shank, and I started getting into detailed discussion with it. So the shank is a conch shell, a natural conch shell. We put ingredients in it to energize it, because if you hear a shell, you can hear the vibrations and the energy. And when we charge it, this basically is a charged shell which throws out positive energy. Now, how do we basically balance energy? We have to place the shells or chunks in a certain direction to basically balance the energy. So say for example, I have a toilet in the northeast. Bad energy or negative energy is coming because that's supposed to be a pure zone which it's a recipient of pure energy. If I cannot do anything about it, I cannot break it, I put this shell in front of the northeast toilet. What happens is this positive energy bypasses the negative energy and comes into the house. So it gives you a similar effect what you would get with pure energy coming into the house. And when I did this assessment and I did this installation for the person, I was so confident that it's going to basically solve this problem. And I kept in touch with him for 10 to 15 days. And then I did a reassessment on what's happening. He started telling me that the situation or the issues that he had were starting to reverse. So he started seeing a lot of progression from a health point of view, from a financial point of view, from a progression point of view. And when I spoke to him after 30 days, he was very happy because the situation has basically reversed totally, and he's basically back to where he was, or on the way back to where he was, very close to what he had achieved in his life. And that is the strength of this shank. And the placement of the shank is the most important, and it plays a very important role in the entire house. So this is how we solved the problem of a person facing financial issues, health issues, progression issues, and we actually made his house Vaastu compliant and reversed the entire situation and solved all his problems. So in the event you're facing a problem, you have an issue, you cannot break any walls because you're living in a flat, or you have a commitment where you can't make any structural changes, well, this product, the Shank, is the solution. Please feel free to reach out to me and I will solve your problem. Thank you so much.